Welcome back to 15th Street Automotive. We're working on a 2000 Chevy Suburban 5.3. Customer's concern this morning is the alternator light is on and the battery gauge on the dash is showing low voltage. So we're going to test this thing out and diagnose it. Alright, as you can see, the battery light is on there, the alternator light, and then over here is the battery voltage indicator on the dash is showing low. So let's test the output of that alternator. Okay, so we're using our battery tester here. Right now the battery is sitting at a static voltage of 1209. We're going to go ahead and do a battery test before we get into the alternator test. So it's showing the battery estimated cold cranking amps of 650, but it's low on charge. So the conductance test of the alternator or battery shows that the battery is good. We're going to the proper way to test that battery would be to charge it fully up. But right now we're gonna test that alternator before we go any further. There's enough voltage in the battery to make the alternator work. So let's test the output of that alternator. Alright, so you can see low regulator, 11.36 volts. Did a diode test good, but there is definitely low amperage output. So let's run some tests on the alternator and see if we're getting everything on the alternator that we should. We're going to put the negative lead onto the battery negative post. The positive lead to the alternator we're going to put on the main output post of the alternator. And so sitting there right there we have battery voltage. Let's start it up and see what happens. Okay, battery voltage doesn't increase. So we got no output out of the alternator. Now we need to figure out if we have the input to the alternator. So what we're looking for on the brown circuit on the alternator going into the alternator from the light circuit. We should have about 10 volts on that circuit. And as you can see with this unplugged, we have our 9.5 volts. We should have about 10 volts on that circuit. So the input into the alternator is working. There's battery voltage to the back of the alternator, but we have no alternator output. Pretty clear indication that we have a faulty alternator. Alright, so we got the new alternator on, belts on, charging system tester hooked up. I'm going to start it up and then we'll see if it's charging. Alright, so we got 14.3 volts and about 77 amps. Amps are a little high because the battery was low. I will shut it off here now and put the battery on the charger so we're not using the alternator as a battery charger. That'll take the load off of that. That alternator is putting out good amperage, good voltage, so we got it fixed. And if we take a look in the inside, the battery light is off to the left, and as you can see the upper gauge on the right is the battery voltage, and it's over 14 volts. So we got this one fixed.